everyone, George Fragrance Apprentice here with the final fragrance review of the summer, which is quite a sad thing really. I've had a really fantastic summer. I hope that you've had just a brilliant summer as well. A lot of great things have been happening. So today we're going to be talking about this little fragrance here. It's called Vetiver Dhiver. So the first thing to get out of the way is that this is known as Vetiver Dhiver. I don't know how to properly pronounce it yet. I'm not very good at all that kind of stuff actually. But it's also, it was known as Vetiver Babylone. They are the same fragrance, they are the exact same fragrance, there's no difference. It's just Armani were forced with powers out of their own control to change the fragrance name for reasons that only Armani know. But the juice stayed the same, and that's what counts. Even though it has strangely the worst name for this fragrance, because Dhiver or Dhiver actually pronounces in French to winter, and this, with things like with notes like bergamot and orange and vetiver, give me a break. This screams summer. This is a completely breathtaking summer fragrance. So let's get into it first with the presentation. So it fits in really quite snugly here. What you do is, let's just put this actually first in the in its box here. Close like that, and then puts in like that. So it's beautiful, really, really lovely presentation. I really like it. I like the presentation of actually all of the Armani Privé fragrances, especially this one because it sort of harkens back to what I was talking about in my summer top 10 17 list when I was talking about meditation and spirituality. Of course, it has a pebble on top, which is suitable iconography and imagery for such a thing like meditation and Zen and all that kind of stuff. Pebbles on beaches, and it's a beautiful little peach pebble. So really great. Shame about the name, because actually what it's referring to, of course, of Vetiver Babylone is the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, which I'm sure that this evokes a lot more than winter. Not that I'd know. I haven't been to the floating Hanging Gardens of Babylon, as they have been closed for some 1,000 years now. Anyway, lovely presentation. I'm going to give that a 4 out of 5. So then we get to the exciting part, which is of course the scent. The scent on this is fantastic. One of the truly greatest openings of a citrus summer-based fragrance I've ever smelt, actually. So I'm going to just redo it because I love the opening. That is absolutely fantastic. So what I get is, I do get that sort of woody vetiver thing, but it's completely in the background. It's more the backbone. It's the foundations of the scent. Realistically, what this is truly about, or what I get from it at least, is genuinely real squeezed orange juice. Yes, you did hear that right. That's what I get. I get beautifully wondrous orange juice. It's like somebody gave the same brief of Vulgari Man Extreme to Jean-Claude Eleanor, whose life has actually been to create the perfect orange note. That's been his life's work. So the orange juice kind of smell that I'm getting is very familiar. It's very inviting. It's something that I know. It's something that you know and can completely relate to on a day-to-day basis. Of course, when you're thinking orange juice, you're thinking summer holidays, you're thinking being out and about, you're thinking breakfasts, a lot of good times, and you're thinking definitely summer. There is a solid connotation of summer in that. So you have this orange juice, bright, lovely fruity orange juice startup, and then it goes to a bit of the woods, a bit of the other citruses, a little bit of a floral, but realistically what it is truly about is that wondrous orange note being backed by a grassiness, a grassy, woody vetiver, solid. So the image that I sort of get in my head is that I'm sat in a beautiful sort of forested area at the height of summer, really, really hot, and it's lovely and green and luscious and very well kept. And I'm sipping an orange juice at a table kind of like this, or maybe champagne with orange juice. keeping it sort of a little bit fancy. And the second sort of image that I get is definitely I'm in a French garden, but it's fully kitted out. It's very, very beautiful. All the flowers are blooming. You've got a maze in there or something. You've got an outside bar. There's tables somewhat like this, but they're all around. It's a garden party. It's an outside French garden party, and it's beautiful and very sophisticated and quite posh. That's kind of what I get with this, but it's interesting. Some sense like this, when they are going with citruses and they are going with some more greener elements, they can be so like a wild garden that they can almost be alienating. But I don't get that from this. I actually get a very inviting vibe and quite a social vibe as well from it. I feel really as though mostly anybody could really wear this. Maybe a little bit too mature for teenagers, but again, it just depends on the personality. But I'd say 20, 21 up, you're in. You're set really with something like this. There's a lot of positive emotions. There's a lot of joy in it, and people like it. You don't feel bogged down by wearing it. It doesn't feel like it's a challenge to wear. You feel as though you're in safe hands with it. And if you're going to like a day event, or you're just going out to see friends in the height of summer, this is going to please everybody. It's absolutely fantastic. So with all of that in mind, the only thing that I'd say is that another thing I'd also mention is the remarkable fact that the brightness of the orange, the zestiness of the orange within here does not die down, as the fragrance goes along. I thought that with the opening, you'd get that sort of very vibrant, bright sunshine orange, and then it would die down, but it keeps itself up. It keeps going, which is quite impressive. That's hard to do with an orange note. Whether it be genuine or synthetic, it is quite a challenge to do that. So, well done. Overall, with all of the things that I've said, I'm going to give this scent a 5 out of 5. Very enjoyable, very happy, very joyful, lovely. Performance, on the other hand, is a different matter. That is a bit of a challenge with this fragrance. I'd say it's a 3 out of 5 altogether, projection and longevity. Projection is decent, but I'd say a little bit below average. So the first 2-3 hours, you've got a scent cloud, but people need to be in your space. People really need to be close to you for them to be able to even get a whiff of this thing. And then after about 3-4 hours, that's it. It's a skin scent. Forget about it. Its time has come and gone. Longevity is about 6 to 8 hours, but it's mostly 6. Like I said, you have to pick your moments with wearing this thing. It has to be in the height and the heat of summer. It has to be 24-25 degrees minimum to get the projection, to get the longevity that you want out of it. But the longevity, I'm going to say 6 to 8 hours, and sometimes it can even falter with that. So it's a 3 out of 5 for me on that. So obviously we're leaving summer now. We're going towards autumn. But if you're looking for something to add to your collection, or even if you're a beginner, if you're trying to get into fragrances and you're looking for a really solid, super solid, easy to wear, casual fragrance that you can just throw on and feel really happy about doing so, this fragrance is truly, truly something you need to get your nose on. This was in my spring list, but as I've worn it properly throughout the spring and the summertime, I really understand that this is truly a summer fragrance. It does better performance-wise in the summertime, and it just has something within it that is more akin to the imagery, the ideas, the smell. It's more to do with summer than it is spring. This would need a little bit more woods. I think that why I threw it so far high into my spring list is because I just fell in love with it, like instantly. It was love at first scent, and I wanted to get it out there and show it to the world. But yeah, it could maybe be in the spring list, but if it was, it would be knocked down quite a few notches. This for me is a solid niche summer fragrance. So I'm going to give this overall a 4 out of 5 because, as I said, I do truly love the scent. Fantastic scent, amazing opening, but those performance issues are real. and they will irritate and annoy people. And the reason why it doesn't get the full 5 out of 5 is, with those performance issues, this is not really a cheap fragrance in the scheme of things. You know, it's cheaper than a lot of niche fragrances, certainly cheaper than the Creed fragrances, but it's still an issue, I believe. So there you have it. There is my review on this wonderful Giorgio Armani fragrance. Hope you got the information that you wanted, and until I see you next week, I'm the Fragrance Press, and I'm out.
Greatest thing, do to be